Ça c'est fait. Okay, so we should get started. So welcome everyone. My name is Jeremy Gorzik. This is quite an unspelling name. And here we are here to talk about how to get your graphical editors back in the present using Eclipse GMF. GMF stands for the Graphical Modeling Framework. So first of all, we will have a little introduction. I will present myself because I will introduce myself because it is important for the next of the following of the presentation. Then I will present you the problematic of the subject I encountered during this last month. Then we will see an early study I made, which is composed of benchmarking. And we will see the results, which is GMF was chosen for a project. And then we'll have a little demonstration of how you could, what you could do using GMF. We have a concrete business application that has been done in about 3-4 months. So we will see exactly how this is done, and you have a little demonstration. So first of all, my name is Jeremy Gorzik. I already told it. I'm 22 years old. I am not an engineer yet. I'm from a school localized in Valence, which is called Grenoble INP ESIS Arts, which I graduated in computer science and networks. Now I'm a trainee in Airbus Opération SAS in Toulouse since the beginning of February 2012. So it's been 5 months now, almost 5 months. I'm here in Toulouse, and I worked on a project, on an internship, which is called Developing a New Graphical Editor for SAO language. SAO stands for Spécification Assistée par Ordinateur in French. And we'll see what is it just next. So the subject problematic is to develop a new graphical editor. For what? So we have to replace a tool which was developed in the 80s and which was used for designing a complex embedded system. It's a computer-aided design modeling tool, or CAD, and it was used for flight control, especially in projects like the A320 and the A340, the famous aircraft from Airbus. And these tools was like this. So you can see it's a quite old-style tool with all black and green screen, which is very beautiful for the eyes, of course. And you can see that this tool is not very 2012, in fact. You can see on the top left of the screen a little cross. This is your mouse. This is not easy to understand at first. And with this tool, you can create embedded system on sheets. This is SAO sheets. With this software, it is not very convenient to use. It's not easy for users. You have on the bottom of the screen a prompt dialog where the user have to write proper commands in order to add elements on the sheets. For example, they have to write a specific command, then have to write the name of the elements they want to add, then the specific attributes, the text files. It takes almost 1 or 2 minutes just to add one element. And this is a very graphical interface, and it's a matter of pixel. It means that if you want to connect one element to another, you have to be precise at the pixel level. A wire can be correctly connected if it is not in an area of almost 5 pixels from the anchor. It's anchor zone. It's very difficult to use, and it is not easy for newcomers to deal with this software. So we have to replace it. In background, we have a first internship 2 years ago who tried to solve this problem. So I have a little background before beginning my internship. There was a first solution and a first prototype. And I have the following constraint. This software must run on every PC and every OS because the old tool was OS, there are constraints on the OS. It only works on a specific type of OS. It was an old HP Unix computer. So the users are not very happy about it because it means they have 2 computers. It should be user-friendly for newcomers, for example, to don't have to read a manual before using the tool because it's very it costs time and it costs money. You should have a light and ergonomic human-machine interface. Then you have informity and integrity of the input and output files of the tool chain. In fact, this software, this tool, is used in a tool chain where it takes in input an ASCII file, a .ic file, and having input a same file updated. And these files are used for certified code generator. So we have to deal with this kind of file and recreate it at the level of formalism. And then we have to do easy maintainability on the new software. It will be normally easy to extend for further evolution of the tool. So with this problematic, we had at first three different choices. This is the benchmarking. So first, we had the choice of developing a whole new solution. It means starting from scratch. It means choose an IDE, an environment, an environment to develop. You have to deal with the human-machine interface. You have to deal with basic behaviors like copy-paste of elements. It means a lot of work for a trainee like me. Then you have a second solution. It's to extend an existing graphical editor. You have a graphical editor like SCADE or Simulink, and you think, why not? You can extend these tools to deal with SAO, with a spécification assistée par ordinateur. But what it means to extend the existing, it means diving into a lot of line of code that sometimes it's very complicated for someone who's just out of school. And for SCADE, for example, they have a complete tool, a complete suite, which is we have lots of tools inside, and it is really, really difficult to build a functional prototype by extending an existing graphical editor. And then during my internship, I had the occasion to have a demonstration of what you can do with Topcase. And then, it's just a former presentation. And with Topcase, you can do graphical editor, and then it use, in fact, GMF. GMF is the graphical modeling framework of Eclipse. And with this framework, you can define model, tools, and graphical and spatial behavior easily with easy tools, and it generate code automatically, and that you can customize easily. Then the solution is deployable under Eclipse or any Eclipse solution, like Topcase, for example. And it is an easy deployment. And furthermore, using GMF will allow you to have a very quick editor with basic behaviors already implemented by the generated code. So after this benchmarking, we decided to not extend an existing graphical editor. So we focused on starting from scratch or using GMF. So for this, I decided to develop two quick prototypes. During 1 week each, I focused on one solution and tried to do the farmost as I can. So the first prototype looked like this. This is using the PyQt binaries. PyQt is Qt using Python. So it has an integrated GUI creator. It is quite intuitive, so it can be very fast to develop. So in this editor, we can see that we have a 3 little Canva with different windows. And we have a draft of palette with button, or we can draw graphic elements. But it is quite unfinished. This is 4 days work, and it's not pretty functional. You cannot draw anything with this. And then you have the prototype using GMF. This is 4-day work using GMF. In which, and for the both prototype, I didn't know how to use PyQt, and I didn't know how to use GMF. During 4 days, 5 days, I seek for information and try to develop a functional prototype. And here we can see that using GMF, you have far most advanced results. You have a palette with different elements. You have a AND gate, a OR gate, and you can draw connection between them. So yes, on the Canva, you have just squares and other figures, but they are not properly AND and OR gates. But this is the beginning. This is the first prototype, and it works. So, of course, we decided to follow the GMF solution, and we decided to get it better. So now, after 3 months of work, I managed to have a functional prototype, and this is how I did it. This is my model from for my editor. This model is made using the eCore tools, and it describes how I define my model. Here, at the center of the screen, you can see a class named Element. This is my main class. This is all the elements from the SAO. The SAO library counts about 300 different elements, and so they are defined by their name, their type, and their family, their group. And each element can be drawn into a specific feuille SAO. It's a SAO sheet. Each element can be composed of following information that are specific of the SAO formalism. So here we have the PTB. It's in French the point de borne. It is the anchor zones of the elements where I can draw wires. We have the SDT. It means the section de trait. It is the line, the graphic line that are used to draw the elements. And we have the TXT files. It is the text fields, in fact. And all these are from the SAO formalism and can be put on a GMF model. Now, after this model, we can talk about graphic customization. So you can have with GMF you can generate a GMF graph file, and in this file you can describe basically how your element will look. In this file, you can see you have figure descriptors, or you can and in which you can specify what it looks like. For example, you can see element figure is a rectangle, and you can add layout, you can add compartment, and for example, you have also specific figures like the PTB figures, which in fact looks like a cross. So GMS allows us to do very specific action and to draw exactly what we need for this application. It's very customizable. We have lots of options in the property view with GMF, and we can really draw everything we want. Then after graphic definition, we have the mapping. This is which allows us to map the graphic element with our model definition and our tooling definition. The tools are the entries in the editor palette. And in this mapping, you can also easily initiate your elements. You can use the OCL language. This is, yeah, I lost my words, sorry. This is the constraint language, or you can say that the first node mapping, which is an element kind of figures, and you said that the name of this figure is a element, which means end. This is an AND gate. And in this element, you can add child references like the PTB, the point born, and the TXT field. And then you can also, with all we've seen here, you can generate code automatically with JMF. It creates you Java interfaces and code that works at first launch. If you launch this like this, you have rectangles and you can draw link between the anchor zones. But what we want is our figures to look like exactly what it looks like in the former tool. This is what we can then modify the code inside the generated function and add specific behavior. You can use the object constraint language in the mapping definition for proper behavior. And also, because it is Eclipse, you can modify the plugin entry points. You can add entries for the toolbar. You can add menus. You can add wizard. You can do whatever you want for the users. And of course, you can modify the generated code using Axeleo, or you will, in which you will add more templates and have exactly the generated code you want. So now I have a little demonstration. So this is what it looks like now under Eclipse. You can just have to draw a new SAO editor diagram, to open a new SAO editor diagram, and you have a full Canva with a palette of lots of elements. And in this Canva, you have just to drag and drop elements. It is not. It is really easy to use because you don't have to write command in a dialog. Which is very difficult for newcomers. So then, if you look closely in the toolbar, I added a new entry point, which is called SAO configuration, in which I can load the AEC file. This is the former file which describes the sheets. And with that, I can parse the old format, and with GMF commands, I can create my new elements. And this is what it looks like. I can reproduce exactly the old SAO sheets. I can do it under Eclipse. I can reproduce this demonstration. Here you can see that I can drag and drop. Oops, sorry. Needs to define the library first. This is it. No worries, it will work. And now, here you can drag and drop elements from the palette. It will be more easy with this. You can draw AND gates, OR gates. It is really easy to use, and you can draw links from the anchor zone to an output. And also you can do things better, like you want not your user to draw a link from an input from another input, for example. It can do it, but you will notice that this is blue and dotted line, so it means for the user that he cannot do this. This is a warning sign. You can do whatever you want with JMF. And so, yes, you can load a file. There you go. And here you have your file. You can move it. It is really easy to use. You can scale it. Yes, this is easy. Yeah. Tech. And with that, you can then validate your model. Your model is stored under XME format that you can customize with your model definition. So here you have a lot of information, and you can parse, of course, this kind of file, for example, to recreate a new IC file. If I click now on validate, I can save a new IC file. Yes, I want to erase it. It has been modified. And now, yes, sorry, I think. Okay. So no problem. Think. And so you can see that this is what I can create. This is the formal SAO page, and I can compare with what I did in inputs. So yes, thank you. Yes, so this is what you can have in output, and this sheet can be used in the toolchain at the end, and you don't have to modify the other tool in the toolchain. For testing, this is the input file. If you put it in the editor, what you have in output is quite the same. There is no order in the file, but it can be. And you have to compare the data, and they are the same. So, in conclusion, I will say that using JMF for this internship and for this project was a good choice, because it allows me to develop a new editor in a very small time with great results, in fact. JMF allows you to, if you have to learn something here, is that JMF allows you to develop a standard editor. If all editors were made using JMF, the user don't have to read any manuals, because all the editors behave the same way. This is very generic editors. The final product, as you have seen, is really easy to use, and can be deployed and integrated as a plugin in any Eclipse environment. Furthermore, as you have seen maybe today at the Eclipse Day, that Eclipse has a lot of plugins and lots of cool stuff to offer you that deals with models. You have the MF Store, for example, that you might have seen early in the journey. This internship allows JMF allows you to fight against obsolescence of tools, and this is great. But maybe the disadvantages of JMF is that it's quite difficult at the beginning to understand the generated code, and it's hard to dive into the generated code and find where you are. And if I have another thing to say, is that maybe JMF is not well if you have more than 100 objects on the same Canva. If you have a sheet with 100 of AND gates, it has trouble managing them, and there is a bit of lag. But in our case, there is no problem. So thank you for your attention, and feel free to have any question.
Yes. So did you try to model the original model which you saw on this black and green screen within Eclipse?
Not quite exactly, but
It's interesting whether it really fits on one screen,
yes.
Or whether it's worse than the old tool.
Okay, the old tool was developed in Fortran, in fact, and there is very poor information of how it is done. But from the documentation I had, I could extract how the elements have been done and can modelize it in Eclipse.
So I don't think that this Eclipse is better, or I don't think that Eclipse architecture is worse, but just the result would be interesting to compare the old and the new one, so whether it's readable or other things, because this could be a valuable feedback for the Eclipse thing to maybe rescale or other things, features to have this thing, because the other was a very quiet and compact thing, and maybe it's less compact now.
Okay.
So that would be interesting.
But what is important here is that
drag and drop is, of course,
yes.
a nice feature. So
yes, but what you have to remember is that this solution has been made in 3 months by a trainee. I'm not yet an engineer, so we have a functional prototype.
It's not so hard to be an engineer.
Yes.
You said that you had to customize the generative editor, and that it was not that easy to dive into the generative code. Do you have an idea of the ratio in terms of efforts, how much time you spent customizing the generative code versus...
This is understanding how this is done. I spent almost 3 weeks diving in the code and understanding how this is how GMF code really works. And thanks to the Eclipse family, they have lots of forums, wikis with lots of information. And if you go on it often, you can find new information. And I learn things about GMF almost every day now. So it can be you can find new functionalities maybe later in the future, and you can extend it even later. I don't know if I answered your question well, but I tried. So this is the end. So thank you, everyone.